Hi everyone, Namaste. Once again, back with yet another powerful talk. And today's talk is for anyone and everyone who has been on a spiritual journey. And this will be something which will definitely answer some of your questions which you could have. See, as a professional, I meet so many clients, and many of them say that I have been on this spiritual journey for the last so many years. I've tried every modality possible. And when you talk about breakthroughs through modalities which you have experienced, I don't experience the same breakthroughs. Although even I have learned the modalities, I have been practicing, but why I don't get breakthroughs? And they talk about all the modalities they have learned. And I'm so impressed and intrigued by at the same time by all that they have learned, which includes profound knowledge. They have knowledge about everything. They are they could be far more learned than what even I believe I am. And I really believe that these people have a lot of potential within them. However, they say that in spite of doing all this spiritual shopping, what is spiritual shopping? Learning modalities and learning modalities and learning modalities, and still not being able to get those breakthroughs in life, that peace in life which they really crave for. So they say that in spite of doing all of this, I still do not feel good about myself. There are a few areas of my life where I feel I'm still not doing good. And there are a lot of people who have also turned very bitter and very cynical because they believe that all they have done is a waste. And they come to a conclusion that these things do not work. Or they also have this belief that the universe or God or some external power figure is being cruel to them. And they're irritated, they're frustrated. Now, what do I do when I meet such people and when they say, can I come for a session with you? Or Ashwini, please help me. Or sometimes they also use me as a punching bag where they just are ranting about how bad their life is. And for me, I would always give one advice, which is what I call as reclaim your own gold self. Okay, so what is reclaiming your own gold self and how does it work? I have given some previous talks on this wonderful forum where I've spoken about how most of us are not in allowance of who we are. And there are so many people who hate themselves, who on the surface feel that they love themselves, but the truth is they are just not in allowance of who they are. And they're always approaching this journey of life or this spiritual transformation journey as somewhere where they want to reach or someone they want to be. Many people often also tell me that they are wanting to improve or they make their life better. And my answer to them is you're already doing good. You don't need to do anything better, but you only need to completely and totally be in allowance of who you are. And I call this process being your golden self or reclaiming your golden self. In the layman's word, this is all about connecting all the parts of us and integrating ourselves to form something which is the gold self. So, the gold self term is given by me, and for me, this whole journey itself was a big experience, and hence I came across so many different things which I tried. And like most of you are watching, I tried so many modalities. I worked on myself. There were no results. There were limited results. I was constantly connecting to my teachers, my coaches, working on myself. But until I started using the tools and techniques which I call as reclaiming your golden self, things did not really shift, nor did I get those breakthroughs which I craved for. The ultimate aim of any spiritual practice, any personal growth, any life transformation practice is to keep you in a state of peace, ease, happiness, abundance, and joy. And if these things are not happening, no matter what you're doing, you still have to go somewhere. Or I would say that not still have to go somewhere, you have to still be at a place where you are in complete allowance of who you are. Aligning to yourself, being in allowance of yourself, integrating all parts of yourself, gathering together everything that is you, reclaiming the lost parts of you. You can call this by different names. I call this particular modality reclaiming your gold self. Now, I will little bit of background about how this modality came up. From the year 2017, I was doing a lot of shadow work. Honestly, I was told by a lot of people how to do the shadow work, but I was not exactly sure how shadow work is done. Um, I did not specifically have a shadow work teacher at that point of time, but of course later when I connected back to my Reiki master teacher and I had extensive conversations with her, a lot of healing sessions with her, after which she guided me a lot with my shadow, and I started working on those principles of shadow work. But there was something which I had realized that the way shadow work is put out in this world, there are some amazing authors, there is so much amazing material available, but in spite of doing all those, reading those books, going through those materials, I still felt that I had to go deeper and there was something more in shadow work. And hence, for the next about 5 years, I kept working on this. In the year 2020, when the global pandemic happened, by this time I had started working more in detail on the shadow and I had gone a few steps ahead and I had learned a few techniques from various other teachers about integrating the shadow. I went back to my Reiki master, I spoke to her. This was just before the pandemic that I was talking about all of this with my teacher. And when the pandemic happened and when the world went into a lockdown, I had a lot of material with me from about 10-15 different teachers. I had explored meanwhile so many online courses, so many teachers, so many coaches, and I integrated all that together, put those parts together, and I still kept on working on myself. And towards the mid of this lockdown, I started feeling that all the work that I was doing for the past almost 3 years was showing some good results because I was feeling at peace. Okay, let us go one more year back. So my shadow work began somewhere in 2017 and 18. And in 2019, I started learning more and more and more about it. As I said, I spoke to teachers, explored books, explored videos, did so many online courses, and everything started to slowly make sense, which means a lot of things started coming together. So shadow work, which I started doing by the mid of 2020, I came up with something which was a great modality to help people go deeper than even their shadow work. Because shadow work is great, but we have to go deeper than shadow in order to integrate the shadow. And very few Very few people were aware of this. So after learning all those courses, I put together something called as the Golden Self Healing Course. This was a 21 days course because I know I was a lot of people we as healers, we were approached a lot by a lot of people who wanted to feel at ease, to feel at peace because things were very different. People were forced to stay at home. There was a lot of emotional mental crisis going on. So this course was launched for 21 days in which all that I had learned and experimented on myself and everything which started giving results was put it out in form of a workshop. That time I gave it different names like intense emotions or intense emotional journaling and so on and on and on. I had total 3 batches in the lockdown and all 3 batches experienced massive breakthroughs. Even when I read the testimonials today, I get goosebumps. Now, this was how this whole modality came up. Now, why are we talking about it here? And how will it help all our viewers who are watching? So, a lot of us I know go on what we call as spiritual shopping and learn so many modalities, but we are not able to integrate it. And hence, today I'm going to talk about how we can integrate it. I know this is a short talk, and this probably to talk about this. I mean, it was a 21 days online workshop, and now when it has become an in-person workshop, it might go anywhere between 2 days to 4 days. But I'm going to try and cover as much as I can in this time. So why does it happen? So we have not yet claimed all parts of us. We still have to integrate different parts. When we start with this work, we first begin to there are a lot of things which we do. We connect to our shadows, we do inner child healing, and a lot more. But when we begin this work, we firstly understand that all parts of us are acceptable, and the more we love and accept ourselves, or I would not use the word love because a lot of people believe self-love is only about taking bubble baths and eating chocolates. No, self-love is that could be self-pampering, but self-love is way beyond that. Because self-love first means accepting where you are in your life. Even if you have not met the perfectionistic standards of the world, you are still worthy of being acknowledged and accepted by yourself. Now, what do I mean by acknowledging and accepting ourselves? Many times the reasons why we do not manifest things in life, or the reason why law of attraction doesn't work, is because we believe we do not deserve it. Now you will say, of course I believe I deserve it. Yes, on a conscious level we believe we deserve it, and we are doing everything possible to receive it. And as I say, you have probably learned every modality in this world. For some time it gives you that happiness, that high, and then it just fizzles out, and there you are left feeling, okay, what just happened? Why has my desire hasn't come true? And here I would say that is because there is a part of us which believes that we do not deserve it. And as I said, consciously you will be saying always that, of course I know I deserve it. Of course I'm doing everything. I've done everything. Why is it still not happened? And the truth is, subconsciously somewhere we have made a belief that we don't deserve the good. And that comes from a lot of subconscious programming. Now I've talked about so many modalities which can help you release this limiting beliefs and subconscious programming. However, I know a lot of us cognitively want to know why it is happening. For example, when I say, because I'm also an access bars practitioner and a facilitator, I can run your bars, and when your bars are run, your brain naturally slows down, thus helping you release those beliefs. But I know a lot of people are more of the type who want to know the hows and whys, and who believe that I still want to know how it works, and I still want to know that where this comes from. And many times these are the people who are not able to connect different parts of them. These are also the people who have hidden judgments about them, which means they believe they are not good enough subconsciously. Consciously, they are all about themselves. Consciously, they might even say, I know I'm wonderful, but subconsciously, they might be feeling very small. And subconsciously, they might have even made this permanent belief that they don't deserve the good in the world, and hence, no matter what they do, they don't end up manifesting and attracting what they want. So, if you're watching this and if you're going through this, let me tell you, you're not alone. First and foremost, I have been there, done that. Until I realized that I was not an allowance of who I am. I had not accepted all the parts of me, and I had not reclaimed my golden self. Now, why does this happen? Because in our childhood, before the age of 8, our programming is done, because till the age of 7 or 8, we are in the theta state where we are almost living life like hypnosis. What is hypnosis? Hypnosis is a state where our mind can be molded, or we can create our own belief system. Till the age of 7, we are living in the theta state. Theta state is a state where our brain waves are running slow. That's why kids imagine. That's why they are they play. That's why they have a fake kitchen where they are cooking food and they eat it, because they are living in the imagining state. And from those imagination states, they can create everything. But after 8, our brain waves slowly start moving into alpha and then beta. And unless we go to sleep, or unless we are doing a deep practice like meditation, hypnosis, we are getting our bars run, or we are experiencing a deep healing like a Reiki treatment or any of those treatments, our brain waves do not slow down. And from that place, we are only living in the logic. Hence, we cannot change any stubborn beliefs. A lot of people who say they don't believe in these things, and who think they are intellectuals, the truth is they are only living from their half brain, which is the logical left brain. But when we move to a bigger whole brain experience, and when our right brain opens up, and also when we start going more and experiencing more theta alpha states, that is the time we are open to more healing. So till the time we are 8, we are programmed to believe certain things. It comes from our primary caregivers, our parents, teachers, if there are any nannies or any domestic staff which is helping you in bringing you up. Also, grandparents, uncles, aunts. We make our belief based on that. Now, a lot of times, because in childhood we were told something, it becomes a stubborn belief. For example, if you are always told as a child that you don't deserve good things, you should be punished, as an adult, you will be attracting experiences where you will always feel that you don't deserve. You will always get punishment. In the adult language, punishment could be where your boss is shouting at you, your spouse is shouting at you, or you have people in your life who are not kind to you. And you wonder that, oh, I'm such a kind soul, I'm such a good person, but why does why do people behave like this to me? And the answer could be that you have yet to reclaim your golden self. Now, most of the times there is no self-acceptance, there is a lot of self-pity, there's a lot of victimhood. Often such people are always blaming others for their life, and they are consciously doing a lot, but subconsciously they have still not claimed those missing parts of them. There is no acknowledgement of their own things, and there is constant judgment. even when they commit a slight mistake. For example, if the office timing is 10 o'clock and if they oversleep or they wake up late and they are reaching office late, more than the boss shouting at them, they shout at them first. There is a lot of self-hatred, self-criticism which happens. And as I say, their inner cheerleader is not active, their inner critic is loud. So what happens when we start doing this golden self-work? So golden self-work, now I undertake it in three different formats. The one format is a workshop, which is a 2-day continuous workshop where you work in a group with me as your coach, as a group coach. And in that two days, it sometimes go to 3 days too, workshop, we extensively work on clearing parts of reclaiming parts of us which we feel are unworthy of love, which we have not acknowledged. The beauty of group session is collectively we heal. So for example, when one person speaks something, if there are 7 other people in the group, they benefit from it. And they somewhere feel that, oh, while healing that person, my healing too happened. So it's a 2 to 3 days workshop in which we work on this. We also do a lot of breathing work and a lot of other techniques, which in addition to doing the facilitation we do. This is the first category of how we use this work. The second category is just like an in-person workshop, we do an online too. This is especially for those clients who are not living in the same city or who are taking online sessions. So usually these online sessions happen every day for 1 hour and they go on till about 21 to 23 days. And the third category is one-on-one coaching, which is often people ask me, is the same as shadow coaching? I would say it is shadow coaching, but it goes way deeper, way more deeper, because we are not just looking at the shadow, we are also integrating those parts of us which do not which are not in alignment. Now, what happens when you start working on your own shadow is you start reclaiming those parts of you, which some of the parts you feel you did not know that they were even existed. Secondly, you start healing your most deep inner wounds. Sometimes we don't even understand that we might have a wound because it is buried somewhere in the subconscious. Again, although this is very cognitive, I would also say that there is still a part of us which might not cognitively understand, but the healing happens because this healing is a mixture of cognitive and energy healing, because there's a lot of energy work which we do. As I said, we do a lot of breath work. There's a lot of healing which happens where I make you listen to guided meditations, audios which take you deeper, and also um, there are audios which are given to you as a homework, as an assignment, so that you can listen to them every day, because it's a beautiful and a deep process, but it is not an overnight process, because of which we also give a lot of homework and a lot of self work to be done, which includes breathing, journaling, meditation, hypnosis, and energy healing, and a lot more. So this overall methodology has created so much shifts in the lives of people that it's just amazing. And now, as we are going deeper in our healing journey as my brand Unicorn Insight, um, of course, I would say that I'm offering this deep work, and always remember, do this deep work with a coach, because a coach is always there to hold that space for you. And there are people who have felt their energy shift. A lot of people have also felt pains and aches in their bodies also getting lesser and lesser. People have attracted opportunities. People have made peace with relationships. I know people um, who have had issues with family members. Someone had an issue with parents, which was over a period of time mended because of all the work done. I know couples who are not on very good terms, who used to literally hate each other, have with the use of this work. So I know there was the wife who joined the first course, and she started feeling those shifts, and with this work her relationship quotient started getting better, and her husband actually asked her, what are you doing? And he did the third or second course he did with me, and their relationship has just blossomed. And she said that it was one of the best things which happened. And now this, what is this work? It looks like magic, but it is deep work which works on your energy, mental, emotional, and body level, all four levels, because we also combine it a lot with breathing work, with energy healing. But overall, I feel this work is very liberating. As I said, before I launched this in 2020, in the year 2020, I had worked on it on myself for the past 3.5 years, and now I think almost 5 years that I'm doing this work on me. And this work has first impacted my mental health in a great positive manner. There is more peace. On a physical level, it helps you have a better quality sleep. It helps you let go of unnecessary cravings, because unnecessary cravings are also related to we not integrating all our parts completely. Emotional peace, better health, and the best part, even better relationships, because your your energy changes, and your equation with a lot of people changes because you have started using these techniques. So, well, there is so much to talk about it, but I hope in this short talk I have shared whatever I could about this really amazing, wonderful video. So, thank you all of you for watching this. I wish I had more time, but if you would like to explore this modality more, you can please get in touch with me. You can write to me on inbox.unicorninsight@gmail.com, or you can drop an email on ashwini.chube@unicorninsight.com, and we could work more on this for you to give you that ultimate level of freedom which you truly choose. And yes, please keep a watch on the dates for this workshop. We do this workshop every 5 to 6 months. So please keep a watch, and if the next workshop is happening, please join. Thank you very much for watching this video, and lots of love and blessings to all of you who are watching me.
Help Talks are daily health-related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.